Hello everyone, welcome to DVS 80. This video is a welcome video and it's also going to be focused on the syllabus just to ensure that you guys know everything you guys need to know in order to be successful in this course. So let's start with that. My name is Fabian Leva. If you have any questions, please email me at the following email. I usually respond within 24 hours, so please, if you need to contact me, email me through that email. Now, keep in mind that this is a 4-credit course in spring 2021. Now, there is no textbook that's required. There is an optional DVS 80 workbook that you guys could pick up from the bookstore. Now, I personally don't recommend it. All the work that can be done in this course can be done on a normal spiral notebook. So if you would ask my recommendation, just pick up a spiral notebook and follow along in that notebook. Now keep in mind that this is a flipped classroom. I'll go over a little more detail what that means in a second. Now keep in mind that office hours are only by appointment. I will also go over those in a second. So let's start with what is a flipped classroom. Now, a flipped classroom requires students to watch videos, practice at home, and complete checkpoints and exams in class. During class, your instructor will also help you with concepts you are having difficulty understanding. Keep in mind when I refer to class time, I'm referring to office hours held through Zoom during this time. So, moral of the story here is that a flipped classroom requires you to do most of the learning and self-checks at home. You really don't see me until you need some extra help or if you are ready to take an exam. Now, a couple materials you're going to need is you're going to need a laptop or a computer with internet access and paper and pencil. Now, this is one of the most key skills that I cannot stress enough. You guys need to know the importance of knowing your basic multiplication facts and how essential they are for your success in the current and future math class. So please, if you haven't practiced or you know that you don't know those multiplication facts, do what you have to in order to practice them. I can almost guarantee that if you do not, it's going to be quite hard to pass this class and almost close to impossible for the next one. So make sure you're practicing those facts as often as possible. Now, all this course is going to be done online at your own pace, and this goes the same for Math 94, 98, and 99. Now, where all your work is going to be done is in wallmap.org. It's an online course where everything is cut up into different sections, so that way you can work through. Now, one thing I would want you guys to do right now is to actually be able to set up a username and log into wallmap.org. So let's skip to the bottom. These are the instructions on how to log into Wallmap and also how to make a username. I'm going to walk you through those right now. So I'm going to go to my favorite browser here. I'm going to go to wallmap.org. Make sure I spell it correctly. Press enter. Notice you'll be brought to this screen right over here. Make sure you click on register as a new student. Once you click on register as a new student, it's going to ask you for a username. Choose whatever username is easy to remember. My recommendation is to write down this username and also write down the password for future reference. If you're kind of stuck on what username to use, just use your Big Ben ID or username and it'll work perfectly. So make sure you do that. Make sure you choose a password, confirm the password, first and last name. I recommend that you put your most used email or your Big Ben email. Make sure you click that you're over 13. You read the terms and conditions, and now you need your course ID. Now the course ID is going to be down here. It is 22297. Your enrollment key is today, so make sure you put that course ID enrollment key, press sign up, and you should be good to go. And you should be signed in. And next time you go into wallmap.org, it's going to ask you for your username, your password. You type that stuff in. Remember to write it somewhere safe and click login, and you'll be brought to wallmap.org. Now, since I'm teaching the course, it says up here on the right that it says courses that I teach. I believe when you see it in the student platform, will say courses that you're taking. So you click on DVS 80, you're going to be brought to something like this. Now, this is how you get logged in. I'm going to go into great detail on what you need to know in order to work through this online class in order to ensure that you pass it and you're able to go on to your next class. So make sure that you press pause on this video. You make sure that if you need any future reference, go back so that way you could you can get logged in. All right, so let's start with explaining this wallmap.org. So everything that you need to do is gonna be done online at your own pace. So you can work through these sections. If you remember them, awesome. If you're having a little bit of trouble, you could slow down. It's really, again, at your own pace. Now, there are a total of 5 units in this course, and each unit has about 5 to 8 sections. Each unit and section is set up the same and is done at your own pace. After you complete all 5 units, you will finish an exit review, followed by an exit exam to complete the course and move on to your next class. So let me kind of hold your hand through working through the sections, especially 1 through 5. So once you enter WALMAP, after you do that registration and all that good stuff, start by clicking and completing the Welcome to WALMAP. Now, this is what I see from an instructor. I'm clicking on student, so that way you can see what you will see as a student. Now, sometimes these little toggles are clicked where you can see everything. My suggestion is just to click them so that way everything looks concise. You want to make sure to click on this Welcome to WALMAP. After you click on Welcome to WALMAP, you want to click on the highlighted blue, and it's going to take you to a couple practice problems here. Now, make sure you follow excuse me, you follow instructions. Make sure you enter. If you do not finish each and every single question, you will not be able to move on to the next one. So keep in mind that you need to finish each and every single thing that is required, especially with this Welcome to WALMAP. After you're done with Welcome to WALMAP, you'll notice that Unit 1 pops out and you are ready to start. Now, notice that when you click on whole numbers, nothing really happens, but if you go to study skills, you have to click on the study skills. You have to get these right as well. Now, let's talk a little bit more here. See, okay, so after completing 100% of the WALMAP, you'll begin Unit 1 whole numbers. Keep in mind that every unit will have a study skills that you have to watch and complete before you continue. In order to complete the sections within each unit, you will have to receive 100% on the video and post skills check for that section. You have 2 chances for each question before you are locked out and can't continue. In order to be unlocked, you have to meet with me during office hours to review your work. Once you open the section, you will see the video and some questions covering a math concept of that section. I recommend first trying to answer the question if possible, and for a refresher on that concept is needed, watch the video and see if you can then answer the questions. If you're still having trouble, let your instructor know and he can help you work through your understanding. So keep in mind that you cannot move on to the next section unless you have correctly answered all the questions on the current section you are currently working on. Once you completed the required sections, you will then complete a unit review. You are allowed unlimited attempts on this review. After completing 100% of that review, you will have a unit skills check. No notes or help will be allowed on the unit skills check, and an 80% or better will be needed in order to move to the next unit. Now, all unit skill checks will be proctored through Zoom. So most of this work is going to be done on your own. But again, all the what are considered exams, which we call unit skills check, have to be done through Zoom hours. My office hours can be found below. I'll be posting the Zoom links on Canvas to make sure you know where to click on. Make sure that you email me prior so that way I am prepared to proctor your exam. So on Mondays and Tuesdays, I'll be available from 9:30 to 10:15. Always leave about 20 minutes before the end of class because it's going to take you about 20 minutes to finish the exam, about 5 minutes to log in. Office hours are unavailable on Wednesday, and then on Thursdays from 2:45 to 3:45 are also available. So these hours, for the most part, are pretty strict and set in stone. But if you cannot make any of these, email me. There's a slight chance I might be able to find another time, but for the most part, these are pretty set in stone in terms of when you could take your test and get some extra help. So let me go over a little bit more about what the website looks and what you need to do in order to pass this class. So again, once you log into WALMAP and you've created all this good stuff, you want to make sure to start on Welcome to WALMAP. Once you click on the Welcome to WALMAP, follow the instructions, make sure you complete every single one of these problems, get 100%. Once you get 100%, it's going to allow you to start on Unit 1. Now notice that Unit 1 and most of the units are going to start with the study skills. Make sure you don't skip these. You click on it, watch a really quick video on it, and make sure you can answer these questions. I already have, so that way I can move forward. Now, once you are done with the skills check, you're ready to start on Unit 1, the actual math, which is 1.1 video and post skills check. Once you click on that, notice that you're going to have a video. My suggestion is to start with the questions. I believe you're allowed 2 attempts per each question. So if you feel like you understand this, you're like, oh, okay, I understand where the 10,000s place value, the hundreds. Go ahead and attempt these. And if you get them right, awesome. Keep working your way through these questions. to move on to the course. Now, let's say that you notice this and you're like, man, I have no clue what the ones place value is, or you get them wrong on the first time. Go to your DVS AD and go to where it says post skills check right over here, and you're going to have a video that's going to review. Just click on it and it's going to review all this material that you need in order to solve these questions. Now, you need to get 100% on these 6 questions. If you don't get 100, or if you don't get 100%, you will not be allowed to move to 1.2. So notice that 1.2 is available, but it says additional resources. And additional resources, if you complete those, do not allow you to finish the course. These are exactly what's stated. There are additional resources there to help you get extra practice. Now, biggest mistake that I see students do is they'll start with 1.1, they'll work on problems 1 through 5, and they won't get number 6 right. And then they'll go back to their section. They'll be like, oh, okay, there's 1.2 additional resources, and they'll complete that one, 1.3, 1.4. They'll work through all the additional resources, but you cannot pass the course until you finish all the 1.1 video post skills, 1.1 plus the post skills check. They'll be titled all the same. It's all video plus post skills check. But they won't appear unless you work in sequential order. So 1.2 is not going to pop out until you finish the 1.1. All right. So after you finish everything within that unit, which is unit 1, you're going to have at the very end a unit review and a unit skills check. Let me show you what that looks like in that from the instructor's point of view. So you'll finish through all these. You'll have all these done, 1.4, 1.5, 1.6. Make sure that you're finishing the video and plus post skills check. These links, not the additional resources. And then you're going to have a review. The review is gonna have some, I believe, mostly about 15 questions. You have multiple opportunities of them. Once you get them done, you'll be able to click on Unit 1 skills check. Now, there's going to be a passcode required. You're going to have to join office hours in order to take the Unit 1 skills check. Those are all what are considered your test. Once you go online, I proctor you through Zoom to make sure you're not using a calculator, your cell phone, etc., etc. So make sure that once you get to that point, you email me and let me know when is the best time for you to join the Zoom meetings. After you finish that, now keep in mind that once you finish Unit 1 skills check, it will allow you to start working on Unit 2, but please, please, please don't allow the test to pile up. So many times students will finish 3 units and then they're like, okay, I'm here to take Unit 1, 2, and 3 skills check, and then they forget Unit 1 because they've been concentrating on Unit 3. So make sure that you're trying to be as consistent as possible. So that's the most part how you're going to work through the course. Let's see what else we have. So after you complete all 4 units, you'll need to complete an exit exam. I believe it's supposed to say 5 units. Let me change that real quick. 5 units, you'll need to complete an exit exam. You have unlimited attempts on the review, and you'll need 100% to move on. After completing the review, you need to score an 80% on the exit exam, and now you're ready to move on to your course. So there are 5 sections. Let me go ahead and click this. So after you finish Unit 1, Unit 2, Unit 3, Unit 4, Unit 5, and of course you finish all the tests within the unit, you will have an exit exam and exit review. The exit review can be done at your own time. Exit exam has to be done through Zoom. So that's pretty much the general idea of this. Now let me continue with the syllabus here. So if you pass the exit exam, you will earn AP for this course. If you do not pass the exam, by the end of the quarter, you will be assigned an audit grading and resume your work progress on the next quarter. Your work will be saved from the previous quarter. So pretty much if you don't pass, you'll have to take off where you left off at the end of the quarter. Now, any student who feels he or she may need a reasonable accommodation for any type of disability, please make an appointment to see your instructor. You also want to contact Disability Services in the 1400 building or by calling the following phone number as soon as possible. The disability must be documented in order to receive accommodations. To be truthful, if you feel like you need an accommodation, make sure you call Disability Services first. They're the ones that do all the legalities. They send me whatever accommodations I need to do and I do it. So just make sure you contact them first. It's usually the fastest way to get things done. So cheating, don't cheat. Cheating will result in a 0.0 for the course and a referral to the Vice President of Instruction. Complete honesty is required. This includes, it's just very, very straightforward. Just don't cheat. Make sure you understand what you're doing in order to take your exams. So if you have any technical support, here's the tech number. Now keep in mind, again, like I've repeated before, this is a self-paced course. However, the bottom calendar is suggested for the minimum pace in order to finish by the end of the quarter. So this is a very, very kind of basic, very basic pacing guide. So there are 11 weeks in a quarter. This is what you roughly need to finish each and every week, so that way you finish the course by the end of the 11th week. Now, don't feel like, okay, today's Monday, I'm only going to do the getting started. Today's Tuesday, I'm only going to get the getting started. What I'm trying to get at with this calendar is that you could work ahead as much as you want, but if you end up at week 3 and you're still on 1.2, well, then you got some overtime to do. You got to make sure that you get these things done. Again, use this as a very kind of quick way to see if you're on pace by the end of each and every single week. My recommendation is to work ahead each and every single time. Now, there will be an additional work day for finals week, since there's no finals here, just the test, as you can see on these through WOMAP. There's going to be one more additional day added to this calendar. So, but don't push it, right? So yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm going to be posting the Zoom link on Canvas as well. It's going to be the same link throughout the whole quarter. So whenever you are ready to take a test or need some extra help, you can click on that link. It will allow you to join the meeting and allow you to get the help or take a test as needed. And that's pretty much it.